Have you ever, really felt completely misunderstood? You're talking, but it feels like the words just disappear. Or maybe you're in a relationship, could be anyone, partner, family, friend, and disagreements just seem to create more friction, not understanding. Just imagine for a second if every conversation, even the difficult ones, actually brought you closer, where you felt clear, connected. What if the actual key to that wasn't some big secret, but just, well, one skill you could actually learn? Think about a couple, maybe like Sarah and Mark we sometimes talk about. They care about each other, sure, but these small daily things blow up, right? They both end up feeling ignored. What if they could change that? What if you could? Welcome to our deep dive into healthy communication, the #1 skill for stronger, happier relationships. We've dug into insights from, psychology, therapy, emotional intelligence, all the good stuff. And our mission today really is to cut through all the noise, find the strategies that really work, and give you the tools you need to, well, transform how you connect with people. Get ready for some maybe surprising facts and definitely some practical techniques that could seriously improve your interactions and just your overall well-being. Okay, let's get into it. Starting with the absolute bedrock. Active listening. Now, we all kind of know we should listen, right? Be present, but it's way more than just not interrupting or, putting your phone down for 5 minutes. It's about being so fully there that you're actively processing the meaning, the feeling, the whole intention behind what someone's trying to say. It's the difference between just registering noise and actually stepping into someone else's world for a moment.
Absolutely. And what's really foundational here, something research keeps showing us, is the actual neurological effect. When you truly actively listen, it doesn't just make the other person feel heard, which is huge, obviously. Yeah. It can actually lower their stress hormones. They become physiologically less defensive, more open.
Wow, really? So it's not just polite, it's biological calming.
Exactly. It signals, I'm willing to sit with your perspective, I value it, instead of just focusing on what I want to say next. That shift is crucial for building stronger connections.
Okay, that's incredibly powerful, making someone feel valued and physically calmer just by listening better. But let's be real, life's busy, our minds race. Actually being fully present is, well, it's tough sometimes, isn't it? What trips people up? And more importantly, what are the actual, practical steps we can take?
You're spot on. It takes real conscious effort. So step 1 is kind of obvious, but needs saying. Be fully present. And that means ditching the physical and the mental clutter. Yeah, put the phone away, but also try to quiet that inner monologue, the shopping list, the work deadline. Really give them your undivided attention. Signal that they are the priority right then.
And the unspoken stuff.
Wow,
you mentioned nonverbals. How much is that? 65% or something?
Yeah, figures vary, but it's a huge chunk. So paying attention to nonverbal cues is critical. Notice how they speak. Fast could be nerves, slow might be tiredness or careful thought.
Right. But also crucially, watching our own nonverbals too. That's easy to forget.
Oh, absolutely. You want to show you're engaged. Use open, non-threatening body language. So uncross those arms, relax your posture, maybe lean in slightly. Nodding helps show you're tracking. And your face. Be mindful of your expressions. Aim for neutral or empathetic, not, accidentally showing judgment or impatience.
Okay. And eye contact. Important, but tricky. You don't want to stare someone down, right?
Exactly. It builds trust, shows engagement. But yeah, intensity is off-putting. There's that rule of thumb, the 50-70 rule. Aim for eye contact about 50-70% of the time while listening. Hold it for maybe 4 or 5 seconds, then glance away briefly. It feels more natural.
Makes sense. So you're present, you're reading the nonverbals, you're showing openness. What about the actual conversation?
This is key. Ask open-ended questions. Questions that invite more than just a yes or no. Instead of, did you have a bad day? Try, can you tell me a bit more about what happened today, or how did that whole situation make you feel?
So it opens the door for them to actually share more, shows genuine curiosity.
Precisely. You're inviting them into a deeper exploration, not just a surface-level exchange.
And then once they have shared, what's next?
You paraphrase and reflect. This is huge for showing you've actually understood. Restate what you heard, but in your own words. So Sarah says, my boss is just piling it on. I feel like I'm drowning, Mark could say.
Something like, wow, it sounds like you're feeling really overwhelmed and under a lot of pressure at work right now.
Exactly. It validates her feeling. Shows he got it.
Okay. And this next one feels important. Listen to understand, not just to respond.
Yes. Resist that urge to jump in immediately with your own story, your advice, your solution. Your primary job initially is just to be a sounding board.
Which leads right into withholding judgment and advice.
Right. Create that safe space. Let them know they won't be criticized or told what they should have done. Just offer empathy. That sounds really tough.
Yeah.
Ultimately, doing all this helps the speaker feel truly seen and helps you get the real story, fostering that deeper connection we're talking about.
Okay, so active listening is the foundation. It helps us get what's being said and maybe what's not being said, but really getting communication right, it seems like it needs more than just good listening habits. It feels like it connects to understanding emotions, ours and theirs. Which brings us to emotional intelligence, or EI. How does that fit into the picture?
Yeah, EI is deeply interwoven with all of this. Emotional intelligence is essentially our ability to navigate the emotional world effectively. It's crucial for getting different viewpoints, handling conflict in a constructive way, and, tweaking your communication style so people feel respected. It helps massively in reducing those misunderstandings. Someone with high EI can kind of read the room, emotionally speaking. They understand their own feelings and have a better sense of others, and they can balance logic and emotion in how they talk.
And it's not just theoretical, right? Like, studies show this actually makes a difference.
Oh, absolutely. Consistently, research shows people with higher EI report greater satisfaction in their relationships.
It's like they have better tools, maybe, better calibration for bridging those communication gaps. They can respond thoughtfully instead of just reacting.
That's a great way to put it. Better calibration.
Exactly.
Okay, so we've talked about the do's. Let's flip it. What about the don'ts? What are some common communication traps people fall into that maybe unknowingly damage their connections? Yeah, understanding the pitfalls is just as important. One huge one is holding back, not voicing your true feelings or needs. There's that saying, right? If you can't get over it, bring it up. You can't bring it up, get over it. But getting over it often isn't healthy if a need isn't being met. Just swallowing it, telling yourself it doesn't matter. Or worse, lying to others.
Yeah.
That just breeds resentment. Think about Sarah holding in her frustration about Mark and the chores. It just simmers.
Right, that simmering resentment. And that can lead to other pretty toxic patterns, can't it? Like passive-aggressive behavior, Mark making sarcastic jokes about Sarah's spending instead of talking about budget concerns directly, or the silent treatment. Ugh.
Exactly. Or just brushing things under the rug. Avoiding the conflict seems easier short-term, but the issue just grows, festers, and often explodes later over something small.
And then there's the opposite end. Aggressive speech. Yelling, blaming, criticizing, trying to win the argument. It just shuts down communication. Nobody wins then.
Another big mistake is failing to listen properly. In a different way, jumping to conclusions. Don't just assume you know what someone means, if they're being a bit vague. Listen carefully. Watch their actions. Actions often speak louder, right? If words and actions don't match, believe the action.
Oh, that's a good point. Believe the behavior.
And ask clarifying questions. So if I'm hearing you right, or could you tell me more about what you meant by?
So many misunderstandings happen simply because we didn't bother to check if we understood correctly.
Yeah, that makes sense. It connects to another potential issue, having a closed heart and mind. Being so afraid of getting hurt or rejected that you just wall people off, it makes building connections almost impossible. We're wired for connection, but fear can make us stay strangers.
That's a really important one. And related is the danger of entering with expectations. There's a key difference between setting an intention for how you want to show up, maybe friendly, open, vulnerable, and having an expectation about how the other person must respond. Ah, okay. So intention is about my energy, expectation is about controlling their reaction.
Exactly. You can choose to be kind, but you can't make someone else be kind back or react exactly how you hoped. Focusing on your intention keeps the power with you.
Okay, final pitfall. And this one's a bit different. Sometimes it's not how you talk, but who you're talking to. Maybe you're talking to the wrong person, like constantly seeking deep understanding or empathy from someone who just doesn't seem capable of giving it.
Precisely. Just like you want to be accepted for who you are, sometimes you have to accept others for who they are, including their limitations. You can't expect selflessness from someone consistently selfish or deep empathy from someone who lacks it. Recognizing that can save a lot of heartache.
Wow, okay, lots to avoid there. So knowing the pitfalls, how do we actively build better habits? What are the practical strategies for improving our communication day to day?
All right, let's get practical. A really powerful starting point is process your feelings before talking.
Yeah.
If you feel like really angry or upset or just overwhelmed, take a breather, go for a walk, listen to some music, maybe even journal about it. Get a handle on your own emotions first.
So you're not just reacting in the moment.
Exactly. It helps you communicate more clearly, less defensively, and prevents things from escalating unnecessarily.
Okay, good one. And what about the timing of conversations?
Oh, think about timing. Super important. If you need to discuss something serious, try to give your partner a heads up. Hey, can we talk about X later tonight when things are calm?
Prevents the feeling of being ambushed.
Yes. Ambushing puts people on the defensive immediately. A little warning allows them to prepare mentally and helps de-escalate before you even start.
Okay, so you've processed, you've picked a good time, now you actually speak.
And when you do, try to start with I statements. This is classic advice for a reason. Instead of blaming, you always ignore me, focus on your feeling. I feel ignored when, or I feel hurt when.
So it keeps the focus on your experience, not attacking them. Less accusatory.
Much less accusatory. It invites empathy rather than defensiveness.
And remember the overall point, right? It's not a debate to win.
Absolutely crucial. Focus on being both heard and listening. And make compromise and resolution the goal, not proving you're right.
It's easy to slip into wanting to win the argument, especially with a partner.
So easy.
Yeah.
But you have to shift that mindset. Acknowledge their perspective, even if you disagree. Okay, I hear that you feel X. The goal is mutual understanding and finding a way forward together.
Okay, let's talk boundaries. They come up a lot in communication discussions.
Essential. Boundaries are basically the personal limits we set to protect ourselves, physically, emotionally, mentally. Clear boundaries are like the guardrails for healthy communication. They create respect. Think about Mark and Sarah setting a boundary about discussing big purchases or maybe not interrupting each other during disagreements.
But setting them can be really hard, right? Fear of conflict, not wanting to upset people.
Definitely. People-pleasing tendencies, fear of rejection, lots of reasons. And they change over time, too. What you needed as a kid is different from work-life boundaries as an adult.
And culture plays a huge role, too, I imagine.
Oh, massively. What's considered a healthy boundary in one culture might seem rude or distant in another. It's complex.
Let's circle back quickly to nonverbal communication. You mentioned how powerful it is.
Incredibly powerful. I remember a client, actually, a therapist herself, who lost her voice for almost 2 weeks.
Wow.
Yeah, laryngitis. She said it was profound, relying only on eye contact, expressions, gestures. It drove home just how much we convey without words. Hair, disinterest, frustration, it all came across.
So an open posture versus crossed arms, a smile versus a frown. They really do speak volumes.
They really do. Sometimes louder and clearer than words. It made her realize connection was still possible, sometimes even deeper, without speech.
And thinking about daily habits, sometimes it's the small things, isn't it?
Totally. Don't underestimate small, consistent efforts. Leaving little notes. Doing quick mood checks. Like, hey, on a scale of 1 to 10, how's your stress level right now?
Like Sarah leaving Mark a note. Feeling stressed, maybe a 6-10, but excited for dinner. Gives him instant context.
Exactly. It prevents small misunderstandings from building up. It keeps you tuned into each other proactively.
Okay, inevitably, even with the best skills, conflict happens. It's just part of being human.
Right. Absolutely predictable. It's not if, it's how you handle it. And unresolved conflict, it's corrosive. It builds resentment. And research even links chronic conflict to negative health outcomes.
So it's actually serious for our well-being.
It really is. And conflicts pop up everywhere. Different needs, personality clashes, mismatched expectations, even just different ways of talking. Money, chores, kids, where to go on vacation.
Yeah.
It's normal.
So before jumping into a conflict discussion, what's a good first step?
Get in touch with your own feelings first. That processing step we talked about. Journaling can be amazing for this.
Why journaling specifically?
It helps you untangle what you're feeling and why. Are you angry, hurt, scared, disappointed? Getting clear on that helps you communicate your needs much more effectively, assertively, instead of just reacting emotionally.
Okay, so clarity first. Then, when you speak,
use assertive communication. Not aggressive, not passive, assertive. Say what's on your mind clearly, directly, respectfully.
And back to those I feel statements.
Your best friend in assertive communication. I feel frustrated when. Not, you make me frustrated. Own your feeling. State the specific behavior. Explain the impact.
Got it. So conflict is here. What are the steps to navigate it productively?
Okay, first, make a decision. Is this actually worth addressing right now, or is it minor enough to let go? Pick your battles wisely.
Good point. Not everything needs a full discussion.
Right. If it does need addressing, consider a compromise. Go in willing to find middle ground where both people's core needs can be met, even if it's not exactly what you initially wanted.
Then, once you both feel understood,
seek a solution. Work together towards something you can both live with. And sometimes, Honestly, a sincere apology after a simple misunderstanding can fix things instantly and even strengthen the bond.
What if it's a really big issue, or you keep getting stuck?
For major conflicts, don't underestimate the value of a third-party presence. A couples counselor, a mediator, even a trusted neutral friend can help facilitate, make sure both sides feel heard, and keep things constructive.
Okay, but what if? What if it's just consistently bad?
This is crucial. Know when it's not working. If a relationship is marked by constant toxicity, abuse, disrespect, or endless unresolved conflict despite your genuine efforts.
Then maybe resolution isn't the goal anymore.
Exactly. Then protecting your own well-being becomes the priority. That might mean setting very firm boundaries, creating distance, or even ending the relationship. Conflict resolution skills have limits when safety or basic respect are consistently violated.
That's a really important point. Okay, so how can we try to prevent conflicts from blowing up in the first place? Any proactive tips?
Definitely. A big one is simply be respectful. Even when you strongly disagree, respect the other person's right to their opinion. Try to understand where they're coming from, their background, their values.
Assume good intent, maybe. Or at least acknowledge their perspective is valid for them.
Yes, exactly. And choose your words carefully. Framing things as your perspective, I think, from my point of view, is less likely to trigger defensiveness than stating opinions as facts about them.
What about owning our mistakes?
Huge. Know when to apologize. Sincerely owning up when you've messed up, even if you didn't mean harm, can stop a conflict in its tracks and builds immense trust.
And if you're stuck?
Ask for help. Talk it through with a trusted friend, a mentor, a therapist. Getting an outside objective perspective can be incredibly clarifying.
And finally?
Know when to walk away. Sometimes the healthiest thing is to take a break from a heated conversation. Let's pause and come back to this later. And sometimes, yes, walking away permanently from a persistently toxic situation, whether it's a relationship or a job, is the necessary choice for your peace and safety. Setting that boundary is okay.
It feels like a lot of this comes down to self-awareness and having the right tools. What if someone feels like they're consistently struggling, hitting the same communication roadblocks again and again?
That's where professional support can be incredibly valuable. Don't hesitate to seek it out.
What can therapy really offer in terms of communication?
So much. Therapy provides a safe, non-judgmental space to really explore your patterns. You can gain improved communication skills, definitely, but also deeper self-awareness about why you communicate the way you do. It helps with setting effective boundaries, navigating conflict better, managing difficult emotions that fuel miscommunication, understanding how past experiences might be influencing you now, and building more empathy. It's about insight and building healthier habits.
And there are different kinds, right? Like for individuals versus couples.
Absolutely. Individual therapy is great for exploring your personal patterns, triggers, and history. Couples therapy, like for Sarah and Mark, focuses on the dynamic between partners, improving intimacy and breaking negative cycles. Family therapy looks at the whole system. There are tailored approaches.
Are there specific types of therapy that are known for helping with communication?
Yes, several are particularly effective. Cognitive behavioral therapy, CBT, is great for identifying and changing those negative thought patterns that often drive poor communication, like assuming the worst or being overly critical.
Okay, changing the thoughts.
Emotion-focused therapy, EFT, goes deep into the underlying emotions and attachment needs in relationships. It helps partners express those deeper feelings safely and build stronger emotional bonds.
What about that Gottman method I've heard about?
Ah, yes. The Gottman method is very research-based. It specifically targets what they call the 4 horsemen: criticism, defensiveness, contempt, and stonewalling, which are major predictors of relationship failure. It gives couples very practical tools to fight these patterns.
Practical tools sound good.
Then there's family systems therapy, looking at how family dynamics and even patterns across generations affect how everyone communicates. Imago relationship therapy helps couples understand how childhood experiences shape their current relationship dynamics, using structured dialogue to foster empathy.
Lots of options.
There are others too, like mindfulness-based cognitive therapy, MBCT, combining CBT with mindfulness for more intentional communication, interpersonal therapy, IPT, focusing on improving relationship skills, even things like art therapy for people who find it hard to express things verbally. The right approach depends on the person and the situation.
It sounds like there's a lot of hope and help available if communication feels like a constant struggle. So, wrapping this all up, it seems healthy communication isn't really about finding the perfect words all the time or never disagreeing.
Not at all. It's fundamentally about building trust, showing empathy, and creating that genuine feeling of connection.
That's why it's the number one skill, maybe, because it empowers you to feel heard, to truly understand others, and ultimately to build relationships that don't just survive, but actually thrive and bring you real happiness.
Well said.
So here's a thought to leave you with. Think about your most important relationships right now. What's just one small shift, one micro habit from our chat today, maybe trying to paraphrase just once, or using one I statement when you feel tempted to blame that you could consciously practice this week? Just imagine the potential ripple effect from that one small change. Could be pretty powerful. Thank you so much for diving deep with us today. Keep learning, keep practicing, keep connecting. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the insights that matter most.